Hello world of YouTube. Do you know what time it is? Time? You get it? Because it's a clock. It's a clock. You get the do you get the joke? Moving on. This is a video response. I've been doing a few of these now of Mark Berman of Spin It Review's latest discussion topic rant thing, where he discussed the release marketing behind U2's latest record, which, if you don't know what that is, essentially they partnered with Apple, and it was automatically put on everyone's iCloud that had an iTunes account. And this has been met with a lot of public outcry, and I kind of understand where they're coming from. I'm not one of those people because I just don't care, but I can see why people would be kind of upset that this record was just kind of forced upon them, because imagine it like this. Say Phil Collins walks up to you in the mall, like in person, first you'd be like, oh my god, this is Phil Collins, but he kind of just goes, here, take this record, take it, it's free, it's new, I made new music, take it, it's free, take it, and, you take it, but you may not really care, because it's like, Phil Collins is great and all, he did the Tarzan soundtrack, he did a lot of great songs in the 80s, but is he really all that much of a relevant act anymore? This would be kind of a publicity stunt to propel him more into notoriety, to keep him more relevant, and I think that it's kind of what U2's doing. This isn't necessarily anything new, if you think about it. This is just a step further on the marketing ploy that Death Grips did, and that Weird Al kind of did, and that Beyonce did. They're just dropping an album out of nowhere, being like, here you go, here's some music. But in the case of but there's a difference between Beyonce's and U2's decision. Because Beyonce was just like, here's a record, bunch of new songs, bunch of new music videos, but you gotta buy it. U2 dropped a new album, but they just gave it away to everybody. And I think that's because U2 realizes they don't have a whole lot of relevancy. The last U2 song I cared about was Vertigo. Yes, that was in the last decade, but still. It's the last thing I ever really cared about from the band. They did a Green Day single, didn't really care about it. They've done things past that I know about, I just don't care for. And I feel like they realized that, so they realized if we're going to stay relevant, we have to start giving away our music, which is kind of sad. I think that you should just, if you want to maintain relevancy at all, you should just keep making good music. And I'm not saying this new record's bad, because I haven't heard it. But I'm assuming, because U2 knows who they are, U2 knows their demographic, U2 knows their relevancy, they made a record in general and just decided to try and stick with the times, and I don't think it worked because they took a step too far. They forced their record upon people, which is something that no one else has really done. So yeah, it is a step forward, it's something fresh, but it's just a push past what everyone else has already done. Death Grips dropped the record for free, despite what their label wanted. This isn't anything fresh. It's just something that's kind of annoying because it is a bit more invasive than everyone else's. It's pushing their record to people that may not really care about it. And again, it's because their relevancy is waning because they're an older band. So yeah, it's kind of my opinions on the topic of U2's album release. I think that had it been a different band, a lot of people wouldn't care as much because they'd be a bit more relevant. I think that's a big reason why people just are kind of upset by this, because it's U2. U2's a band that doesn't really hold a lot of relevancy nowadays. And you know what I think is actually funny about this? This record had advertisements placed on TV, and I guarantee you that the fact that they had these TV advertisements for this album, and yet it didn't probably get a whole lot of positive reception, because again, people just don't care. They decided to take it a step further and say, alright, well fine, people don't really care, they just have the record, That's kind of what I get from this whole marketing scheme. That's why I don't really care about it, because it just seems like a band that's losing relevancy, trying their hardest to stay relevant, and in my opinion, failing. Yeah, I'm gonna go. That's my opinions. If you want to see Mark's video, it's linked below, and I'm gonna go. I've been Viral Rack, you guys are good at these life situations, and I'll see you another day.